What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday and welcome to the Early Edge. Good morning, team, says David Talk. Good morning to you, David. And General Patton's Gaming and Mark Thomas and Scott Y and Joseph Rackett. We got a great show for you today. Let's see how we did yesterday on the show. This recap screen, it's a little misleading given that three of us, me, Mike McClure, and Danny Brasco, all had the Jets plus 4.5, which is technically 3 losses. But if you just look at the wins and losses from the picks, I guess it's 6-5, but on this screen, 6-7 because of the 3 Jets plus 4.5 plays. 6-5, 6-7. Either way, we got to do better than that. And we're going to do it with you all and your picks in the chat, which we will respond to, of course, but also with the stars of the show. Let's bring them in right now. We've got a team here today, folks, on a Tuesday. We've got Matt Sniper to talk baseball. Maybe to talk some Bears. I don't know. And we got Larry Hartstein to talk some NFL and some MLB. Buckets not here today. I know people will probably be asking about him. He'll have some plays tweeted out later, I am sure. But Maestro, I got to ask you, Jets, Niners. You saw the recap screen. I mean, 3 of us we overloaded the recap screen with Jets plus 4.5. Listen, looking back, I really liked the Jets plus 4.5. And I don't necessarily regret the move. I will say this, though. It looked like Robert Saleh got outclassed by Kyle Shanahan because this defense had absolutely 0 answers for a CMC-less team. Your reaction to Monday Night Football?
Yeah, they kicked 6 field goals. This could have been much, much worse. Yeah. The Jets defense, it's probably not. Hassan Reddick won't be enough to repair the defense. But I think next week they're going to look a lot better against Will Levis and the Tennessee Titans. You know, Aaron Rodgers, I think there were some signs of hope, but also it looked to me like he was afraid to get hit. We talked about the dump offs to Breece Hall. That came through. I'm not so worried about the offense, but definitely a little bit worried about the defense. Right now, the schedule, though, eases up, so they have some time to fix things. On the other side, yeah, I mean, the 49ers, I think the new defensive coordinator is an upgrade for them, at least the way it looked yesterday, because, you know, the Jets, had the good drive to get the touchdown, and then they just got totally shut down until garbage time.
Yeah, it's interesting because in all my fantasy leagues, and I know there's a lot of people talking fantasy, like Eric David, for example, in the chat. I drafted the Jets in every league knowing that week 1 was going to be a problem, but the next 4 or 5 weeks for the Jets, that defense should look a lot better. But clearly they need Hassan Reddick and maybe a little bit more to look like the team that we thought they were going to be. But I'll say this, Kyle Shanahan is just going to Kyle Shanahan all teams. And whether it's like his dad, whether it's Jordan Mason or Mike Anderson, you name it, these guys are able to make offenses click no matter what. Sniper, before we get into your baseball picks, I know you were tracking baseball all night, but did you get a chance to see the game? Your reaction?
Some of it, you know, yeah. I was kind of like watching 3 things at once, basically. So I don't think I have any profound thoughts or anything like that, other than my the residue of my Aaron Rodgers hatred from his Packers days. So I'll kind of bite my tongue and keep that to myself.
Fair enough. Well, you're in good company, I'm sure. All right, let's go to some baseball picks. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to give out your baseball pick, Sniper. And then, Larry, we're going to go to your pick. And both you and I, you have baseball and football. I have a football pick for week 2 as well, just an early line that I'd like to get on top of now. And then if you have baseball picks in the chat for Larry or Sniper, but specifically Sniper, since after Larry, you give your pick, we're going to go back to Sniper and answer any baseball questions that are in there. But for now, Matt Snyder, you've got the floor.
Phillies kind of let me down last night, but I'm going to go back to the well. They ended up winning the game anyway, and that's all that matters. They're really, really good at home, just like I talked about yesterday. They found a way to get that job done yesterday, even though they didn't hit that well. Taj Bradley on the mound for the Rays today. 8.92 ERA in his last 7 starts. He's worse on the road than he is at home. This is in Citizens Bank Park. We talked about how great the Phillies are at home. Ranger Suarez, 5 scoreless innings. Last time it was his 3rd time off the injured list. And last game I did play them, and I said that's when he would kind of get back to being himself. And he did. I'm going to go with the first 5 here on this one. I need them to get a lead. That's how I got the line down a little bit. So it's Phillies by a half run through 5 innings. But really, any which way you want to go with this one, I think the Phillies are going to win the game. And I'm going to stay there with my fellow Hoosier, Kyle Schwarber. He's been so hot lately. I'm going to go over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs on Kyle Schwarber. Taj Bradley is worse versus lefties than he is against righties. Schwarber's last 7 games, he's 13 for 30 with 6 home runs, 12 RBIs, and 10 runs. I like the Phillies to get a big lead early in this one. Obviously, Schwarber hitting leadoff is going to be involved. And you know what? If he hits a leadoff home run there, we're already home. And that is a distinct possibility with Schwarber, especially when he gets hot like this. A few other things I wanted to talk about, not necessarily an official play, but Rockies at Tigers. Rockies are brutal on the road, 22-53 on the road, one of the worst teams in baseball. And they are, I believe, probably have to throw the White Sox out, but second worst on the road. Tigers are going really, really well right now. In fact, since August 2nd, the Tigers are 21-12. So if you have some plays on the Tigers there, I would be in favor of any of those. And I know that recently in the chat, we've had a lot of people asking about home run plays. Schwarber would be a good one there, obviously. But Chris Bassett on the mound for the Blue Jays in Toronto. He is home run prone at home. The Mets are there. They have a lot of guys who can go deep. Mark Vientos has actually, even though he's a right-hander, has great power numbers against righties. And you can't go wrong with Francisco Lindor right now. Last time I mentioned him, he went deep. Might want to go back to the well there.
All right. That's a lot of baseball right there. And for the record, that's the first time I've said for the record. Let's see how this goes. For the record, and by the way, we got to keep a tally, right? AMAGS is in the chat. So put your questions in for AMAGS, put your questions in for Sniper or Larry, and we will get to those after we give out our plays. Speaking of plays, Big Cheesy says Atlanta -1.5. And I think he also said Bobby Witt at like +150, over 1.5 total bases. I'll have to go back and see what that pick was. Moshi has picks. Brad Betts has picks. And Scott Wise says, hey, Sia, any golf picks? Most of you probably think golf season is over. Well, not really. FedEx Cup playoffs are over, but the fall swing is underway. It's going to be sort of a checkered sort of schedule for golf. But we got the Procore Championship this week, which used to be the Fortinet Championship. So I will have picks. I'll bring some first round leaders tomorrow and perhaps a matchup as well, maybe even an outright. So make sure you tune in tomorrow, Wednesday, for some Thursday golf and some tournament golf. Matt Sniper, go ahead.
Yeah, I can jump right on the Braves Nationals ones. On the run line, I don't know about that because the Braves offense has just been so unreliable lately. They lost 1-0 yesterday to Nick Martinez and the Reds. I would much rather somebody mentioned the money line -134. Reynaldo Lopez on the hill for the Braves. I would be okay with that. I don't want to make them win by 2, even though they're on the road there. I cannot trust that offense to put up any big numbers. What was the other one? I had thought, Bobby Witt over 1.5 total bases against Marcus Stroman. I'd be good with that.
All right. And Lachlan McKinnon asks Sia Nejad, when is the best bets show? I think that's the week 2 show. Larry, that's Thursday, correct?
Yeah, NFL Best Bet Show was moved to Thursday this year because of the network. The college show is on Wednesday, but the real show is right now. RJ White locking in a whole bunch of NFL picks on SportsLine. I keep getting alerts, very sharp plays from Mr. White.
Wow, NFL plays, obviously, for week 2.
NFL plays, yes, including the Jets-Titans that we talked about, including Panthers-Chargers, including Lions-Bucks, and on and on.
If you want to know how to join SportsLine, I'll tell you later on in the show. But if you want to make any of these bets, including RJ's, which is already up at SportsLine, go to BetMGM. New BetMGM customers can sign up today and get up to $1,500 in bonus bets. Just place your first wager of at least $10, and you will receive up to $1,500 instantly if your bet loses with bonus code EDGE. That's bonus code EDGE, EDGE. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got to get to a SportsLine pick. We got to get to Larry's pick. We got to get to my pick, and we got to learn, if you're not already a member of SportsLine, how to join SportsLine. We're going to do it right after this message from our partners.
We need your sports news anywhere.
We've got breaking news to bring you.
Then get your sports anytime you want them. Big trade news overnight to discuss.
Because we know you need sports all the time.
A lot of movement in the rankings this week.
A legend adds to their legacy.
We're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
CBS Sports HQ, anywhere, anytime, all the time.
All right, our SportsLine pick on the early edge, it's going to be the Mets -1.5. The run line at +130. We got Bassett on the mound for the Blue Jays, David Peterson on the mound for the Mets. This game starts at 7:07 Eastern Standard Time. That is one of many SportsLine picks that you will see throughout the day. Sniper, any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm good with that one. David Peterson on the mound. He's been so good pretty much all season, but especially the last 2 months here. And I just mentioned I like the spot for the Mets maybe to go deep a few times against Chris Bassett. So, yeah, I mean, look, the bottom line is, even though, honestly, the personnel still doesn't look like it should be as good as the Mets are playing, If you go back to June 2nd, they have the best record in baseball since then, in all of baseball since June 2nd. And that's not that small of a sample. It's pretty much a half season straight of the Mets just being awesome. So, yeah, I'm down with that one.
You know, what's interesting about this is Alex Polito asked before I even gave out that play, I think he said, Sniper, what about the Mets money line? I mean, what's interesting is that you're getting the run line at plus 130, but the money line isn't that bad at minus 130. So, I mean, you know, Sniper, obviously you like that
any which way. Yeah.
All right.
I'm good with any which way on that.
And Amags likes a big cheesy recommendation of Santander over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Anytime it's Amags approved, it's approved by most everybody. So let's go to my picks. Larry, before I get to your pick, let's go to my NFL pick for week 2. I wanted to give out an early play. You all know I've been big on the Colts. I put them in early against Houston on the money line at plus money. I probably, you know, in all candor, should have waited for that line to click up to plus 2.5, plus 3, and I would have hit that bet. But either way, everybody knows I'm pretty big on the Colts this year. Anthony Richardson and company, they had a chance to win that game if on 3rd and long, CJ Stroud didn't complete an unbelievable pass to Nico Collins that everybody thought Nico Collins was out of bounds for, but it was an amazing catch. He was inbounds. If that doesn't happen, the Colts get the ball back against a very good Texans team and march down and only need a field goal to win. Richardson was good and bad. He missed some easy throws, but I think this is right for the Colts to win. They get to go to Green Bay, a very tough team, without Jordan Love. I know Jordan Love hasn't been ruled out, but I don't think he's playing. And if he does, it's crazy and he'll be completely hampered. It's going to be the Malik Willis experience. And anybody knows a Malik Willis, even dating back to college, I just don't think he's the guy for this offense, especially only being in Green Bay for less than 3 weeks when this thing kicks off. Really like the Colts. I think they're going to get after Malik Willis. I think Malik Willis is going to run a little bit, but long story short, I don't think he's going to be able to run that offense. And I trust Anthony Richardson enough with his arm, which is checkered, don't get me wrong, but also with his legs. I like this defensive line. They really got after CJ Stroud. I think they're going to make Malik Willis commit a turnover or two. So give me the Colts -3. This is an alt line because this line is 3.5 everywhere, but you can look at the alt lines and you can get the -3 at -121, -125. I'd play that up to -130 very comfortably. So again, get the Colts -3, buy that half a point, -130 or better. That's the play. Maestro, we go to MLB. We got some picks in the chat that I know I need to get to. So let's talk MLB. Let's talk NFL.
Going right back to Snyder's game. We're all in on the Phillies today because I'm over 2.5 earned runs allowed for Taj Bradley. I know the Phillies have not hit well the last couple of days, but at home over the course of the season, they're a very good offense. And Taj Bradley, he was incredible for about an 8-start stretch, and now he's been just as bad the last 7 starts with an ERA near 9, over this number in all 7 straight, 10 homers allowed. The barrel rate is off the charts. The hard hit rate is off the charts. So a lot of very hard contact. Even last time out, he pitched well, struck out 10, still gave up 4 earned runs. So I think we get the 3 earned runs from the Phillies here. I love that play. And then in the NFL, this is a play that will not be available, I don't believe, later in the week. It's the Seahawks -3 at the Patriots. Already seeing a lot of books moving to 3.5. The Patriots, yeah, they burn me. They burn a lot of people in Survivor. They deserve the win. They played mistake-free football, basically, against a Bengals team that played mistake-filled football. Fumble the ball walking across the goal line, drop a touchdown, drop an interception, fumble a punt. I mean, it was a comedy of errors for the Bengals, who still had a chance to win the game if they don't punt the ball away for no reason with 2.5 minutes left, take the ball out of Joe Burrow's hands. But I just love Mike McDonald. I love what they're doing in Seattle. It was a shaky start, but the defense played well throughout. 3.3 yards per play for the Denver Broncos, completely shut down the Denver Broncos offense. And then offensively in the second half, they got going 17 second half points. Tyler Lockett came up big. Kenneth Walker is supposedly good to go. That's a big factor. So I just think they're clearly the better team. I love the mojo in Seattle, and I'll lay the field goal.
Yeah, I like this play as well. This is one of the plays where there were 2 plays that jumped out at me right away. It was this one and the play that I just gave out on the Colts. So I think a lot of people in the chat like this play as well. Sniper, I know you probably have some catching up to do with the chat, but I do want to ask you something. First of all, Brad Bet says if the Netherlands versus Germany, both teams, the score drops live, it's playable. Go ahead and play it. Braves -134 money line, says Ed Anarumo. Sniper, this is interesting because the Nationals are so pesky, right? And what is it? Is it Mackenzie Gore on the mound?
Yeah. Yeah, and he has a chance to have a good outing against that Braves lineup that just
they're not hitting.
is not hitting.
But
So
Ronaldo Lopez is a guy too. I mean, is first 5 under maybe in play as opposed to taking a side here? What are your thoughts there?
I definitely think the first 5 under would be a play. I think the Braves are going to win. When we talked about the run line, I just can't trust them to win by multiple runs with as bad as their offense has been. I think it's going to be a low scoring, grinded out. It's something like they won 2-1 or 3-2 or something like that. So anybody likes the under, whether it's in the first 5 or the full game, I would probably be good with that. Somebody asked earlier, I think it was a parlay, had Zach Gallen over 5.5 strikeouts and under 1.5 walks. I definitely think against this Rangers offense, remember Corey Seager's out, on the strikeouts is great. He has had 8, 7, and 9 in each of his last 3 starts, but he's walking way too many guys. He walked 4 last time. He walked 4 2 outings ago. I would not be going with that parlay. Also, our man Rick asked about the Cubs on the money line. Getting 2 in a row for the Cubs in LA against the Dodgers, that's tough. Imanaga on the mound, though, I can see where he's going, especially because Yamamoto is just coming back from the injured list. If you want to go with it, go with it. I'm not feeling it, but hey, I don't think it's a terrible bet by any stretch, especially it's decent plus money.
Yeah, there was also a question from Dominic saying, how do you like the under in the Reds Cards at 8.5? It looks like it's down to 8. With some juice, a little bit on the over. I don't know what to expect from Palante game to game. You know more about Louder than I do. So if anything, I would be
a high-level prospect. But I mean, gosh, it's just he's only 1 start into his career. It's so hard to predict what's going to happen there. I definitely don't like the under at all. Although they both have good bullpens. I don't know. I'd probably stay away on that one, if anything.
Okay, and Brad bets. Nice promo for BetMGM, Larry. He says, Maestro's Seahawks at -3 is at -115 at BetMGM, and other places like FanDuel have already moved it. So we like that number, right, Maestro? -3 at -115?
Absolutely like the number. Big Cheesy didn't seem to like the number so much, but now he's saying he will not give me a showdown on that, which is fine. You know, everyone has a right to do with their own money what they want to do. So I'm not going to, there's no peer pressure. Nobody's forcing him into any showdowns. He can talk all he wants in the chat, and we'll just do it like that.
Yeah, absolutely love you, Big Cheesy. All right, let's talk about those of you that are new, just real quick. If you want to join SportsLine, sportsline.com/join, type in the promo code winners. You get 60% off the annual plan. That doesn't just include picks. It includes articles, simulations, DFS plays across all sports. You name the sport, NASCAR, UFC, NFL, of course, NBA, MLB. By the way, NBA starts in about 5 weeks. You got college basketball around the corner. And if you're not already a member of SportsLine, honestly, it's so much information that's provided for such a little price, and that includes all of our picks as well. Eric David asks, Sia Colts at -3.5 at -105, still good. So understand what I said, because it's 3.5 everywhere. You can buy this down to -3, and that's probably what I would do. So buy it down to -3 and pay the extra juice. It should be anywhere between -120 and -130. Don't go beyond -130, but I wouldn't play the hook there. I think -3 is the play, and you're going to want to pay -130 or better on that play. And this is the cool thing. All books are doing this. You know, old school books, and some of the international books that, you know, I've heard stuff about international books, they'll like make you click the screen and like buy a half a point or something like that. We just have alt lines in the American sports books, BetMGM, for example. So you literally just can scroll down from the regular line and look at the alt line and look at the price, and you can look at alt lines across the board. I mean, you could take the Colts -7.5 if you want, and just probably play that at, you know, +250 or whatever the case may be. So look for those alt lines. Don't pay crazy money on the price. You don't have to for the Colts game. -3 should be -130 or better. Larry, you got something else?
It looks like we got some breaking news. Big Cheesy wants the showdown with me not right now. So yeah, it's on. Jake, if you're around, play the music.
I think he's around.
It's gonna be a showdown.
Absolutely love it. All right, so it's official, but what's the line here? What's the spread we're playing with? Just to
playing with 3. Playing with 3.
With 3. It's going to be a showdown, says Brad Betts. All right, let's take a look at the recap screen. I've got the Colts -3. Of course, this is on Sunday at -121. And don't forget, I mentioned before, probably some golf picks, maybe some first-round leaders dropping on tomorrow morning's show on the Early Edge. So no early wedge on Tuesday. We're going to be dropping golf picks during the fall swing on the Early Edge. Tune in. Matt Sniper, Phillies first 5 -1/2 at -110, and Schwarber over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs at -105. Larry Hartstein, Taj Bradley over 2.5 earned runs at -115. And the Seahawks on Sunday, -3 at -115. SportsLine pick. We're going with the Mets run line. That's some nice plus money at +130. But FYI, if you just want to play them to win the game, money line, it's only -130. But our SportsLine pick is the plus money in that one. Absolutely love this. Absolutely love this show. Absolutely love this team. Thanks for joining us. We do this every single Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock. It's going to be a lot of NFL, a lot of MLB. And like I said, basketball's around the corner. Of course, we normally have soccer every single day. We'll be bringing you soccer with the Guru tomorrow as well, and some golf picks, and of course, maybe some NFL stuff, and of course, some Major League Baseball. Thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate everybody hitting the like button. Amax, thank you for being in here. Aaron Bailey says, great to be here. It is great to be here. On behalf of Jake the Snake on the 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s, the Sniper, the Maestro, I'm the Counselor of Cash. This is the Early Edge. Have a great Tuesday, everybody. We rest our case.